Hey, Antonis, I am on the road today, but I just wanted to make you a really quick little video. Thank you for entering our little contest and congratulations on winning. And I just wanted to share some thoughts about your website. So I created a little document for you that we're going to go through just really briefly and talk about your website. So we have a 31-point checklist that we use so that we're doing something that's kind of objective when we do this, and that keeps us on track and also lets you know exactly what we're thinking so that we can be super specific. And these items actually came from Jacob Nielsen's, Dr. Jacob Nielsen, I should say, eye tracking data, which basically indicates this is what people expect when they go to a website, and this is what makes things really more effective when websites comply with people's expectations and they're not looking all over for things. So the main thing about a website is that you want your visitors to feel comfortable and you want them to be able to do what you want them to do easily. You know, you want the easiest path through your website to be what you want them to do, which is to contact you and to buy your services. Okay, so factor number one, show your company name and logo in the upper left-hand corner. Yours is in the upper center, which is great, but often people are looking up here in the upper right for something like a contact us or a search or some kind of action item. So you want your most important action item to be up here in the upper right. Having your logo in the upper left is not only kind of where people expect it to be, but it also opens up that real estate so that you can keep it balanced and have who you are, what you want them to do at the very top of your page. So that is thing number one. Thing number two, include a tagline that summarizes what your company does in a customer-focused promise statement. Bespoke aviation charter brokers and general sales agents is good. The only way that I can think of to improve that is to make it more specific, since you guys focus on international and you're based in Europe, to kind of differentiate you guys from NetJets and the other American monsters. You might want to make that a little bit more specific about where you are and who you serve. So that's thing number two. Thing number three, solution-oriented headline. I added some suggestions and things like that in the document. You can go through that at your convenience. I'm not going to go through every single item, but a few things that could be improved. Probably the biggest thing is that it's hard to find your contact information. If I'm looking for a phone number, which is often what I'm doing, I will either go to the upper right over here and I don't see it there, or I go to the bottom of the page and I don't see it there. So if I click the bottom link, I'm seeing a bunch more stuff, but I'm not seeing a phone number. In fact, if there's this contact us down here, that doesn't seem to be working. In fact, it says contact is. So you might want to make that say contact us. And it looks like the only way to contact you is via social media, which is a little weird. Possibly the way people do things nowadays, but I think it's a little weird. So that is a thing. All right. What we do suggest is that you have your company name, your address, a live link to your phone, a live link to your email, and a privacy policy link in the footer of every single page. That just makes it 1,000 times easier to do the number one thing that you want them to do, which is to contact you. So there is that. Other things, there was nothing else that really stood out as an item. One thing, a little bit more modern design, would be to put some kind of a background behind these paragraphs so that it's a little bit easier to read them. You can tell in some instances it's not very high contrast. And also you can clean up this design a little bit more if you take out the more buttons and just make these images clickable. It's kind of redundant to also have that more button there. I think most people kind of recognize that you can go to an icon, click on an icon and go there. And you want to work a little bit more on making your text the same length so that that would clean up these boxes and make them seem of equal importance. Okay, So other things, I would suggest that you make your headline a little bit longer. You've got 60 to 75 characters in your Google search results. This is a search engine results page, what people see when they pull up your site in a search engine. You've got 60 to 75 characters. Use all of that real estate with your keywords and things like that. Same thing with your description. Otherwise, consider an SSL certificate. You want your site to be HTTPS, not just HTTP, because it puts this broken link in some people's browsers, and people are kind of nervous about that these days. Site speed could be improved, and so on. And we include some competitive information, and here's what we're finding. Here's what our software says about your site. Here are the people that we think, or that our software thinks that you're competing against. It shows their authority score, organic traffic, how many visits per day they're getting, how many organic keywords the search engine finds on their site versus yours, how many backlinks they have, how many referring domains, how many paid keywords. You may or may not be interested in paid traffic, and also keyword overlap, so you can kind of see where you sit with relation to other folks. You can see you share your Q4 Aviation, which is the blue bubble, and you share some keywords with charterbroker.aero and with flightsolution.com. Mobile, up to 50% of people, depending on the market, may be using their cell phones to access your website. When people access your website on a mobile device, it doesn't look its best. So I would suggest a redesign that includes a mobile-friendly theme. So here's our top 3 suggestions. And of course, you can do everything we suggested or just the top 3. I think it would be a big improvement for you. And thank you again for the opportunity to take a look at your website, and let us know if we can help further. Talk to you soon.